Good noon, students. Good noon, everybody. Here is a teacher, Bhagaban Prasad from Kansbal Government UP School, Kansbal. First of all, I welcome to the class 7 students to this virtual class of Sundargarh. Today, I am going to teach you how poor we are in your English book. Students, we the human being living in this world, having the different economical conditions. Some are poor, some are rich. But can you tell me who is poor and who is rich? आमे मनीष ए पृथ्वी पृष्ठ रोसा मनीष विभिन्न इकोनॉमिकल कंडीशन रे रोच केतक गरीब अछंती केतक धनी अछंती किंतु तो कहि परियो काहा को आमे धनी कहिबा काहा को आमे गरीब कहिबा टू नो दिस कम टू लिसन audio. Once upon a time there was a poor man named Ramu in a country. In this country there was also a king who was very kind-hearted and he used to help the poor. He helped the poor whatever they wanted. One day Ramu thought to go to the king and requested him to give him some financial help. Then he went to the king's palace early in the morning, but at the entrance of the gate, the gatekeeper stopped him and informed him that the king went to the temple for prayer. Knowing this, Ramu went to the temple to meet the king and begged him for help. But what did he see there? He saw that the king was praying the God. He prayed, "O God, be kind to my country. Give me more and more wealth so that my country would be rich and prosperous." When Ramu heard it, he thought that the king was also a poor man like him before the God. So he thought, why not he begged the God instead of the king? So he gave up the thinking to go to the king for help forever, because the king was also poor like him in God's creation. Who is rich and who is poor? देख लोकटी चाहूला राजा पाखर किसी आर्थिक साहय राजा पाखक जाइए देखुचे राजा कौन कर मंदिर में भगवान निकट में प्रार्थना करुच्ची देखे प्रभु मत किसी पैसा दियो जे मुझे धनी हेबी तो मोर राज्य जमी धनी तेणु दुखी लोकटी गरीब लोकटी कौन चिंता करती मुझे मागे ये मागुचे भगवान निकट में ये तो मोहरी जन पुअर भगवान के निकट में ये तो मोहरी भरी जन पुअर मोहरी भरी जन गरीब तो मुझे जब मागे अच्छे मुझे राजा मागे तेणु कहीं न मागे भगवान कहीं न मागे तेणु ये कौन जानले हु इज रिच एंड हु इज पुअर ऑल आर इक्वल इन गॉड्स क्रिएशन नो वन इज रिच एंड नो वन इज पुअर एठी कहीं गरीब नुहति कि कहीं धनी नुहति भगवान को सृष्टि रे ऑल वी आर इक्वल भगवान सृष्टि आम समस्त होती समान तेणु आम नाउ वी कम टू आवर टॉपिक हाउ पुअर वी आर आम बर्तमान आम टॉपिक हाउ पुअर वी आर को बर्तमान जीवा बिफोर वी गो टू टॉपिक आई वांट टू आस्क यू सम क्वेश्चन तुमको किसी क्वेश्चन पचार रिच पेरेंट्स यूजुअली टीच देयर चिल्ड्रन व्हाट इट मीन्स टू बी पुअर जनरली रिच पेरेंट्स यूजुअली टीच देयर चिल्ड्रन व्हाट इट मीन्स टू बी पुअर साधारणतः धनी लोक मान कौन करती पिला को बुझाती दरिद्र कौन इज इट दैट देयर चिल्ड्रेन विल हेड द पुअर चिल्ड्रेन माने कौन गरीब लोक हेड करेंगे घृणा करेंगे इज दैट दे विल रिमेन एलोन लाइक प्रिजनर नेवर सी द रियल वर्ल्ड से कौन प्रकृत गोटे बंदी जीवन यापन करेंगे जे कि प्रकृत पृथ्वी को से उपभोग करेंगे नहीं इज इट ओनली दैट दे विल रन आफ्टर मनी से केवल टंका पछरे गोड़ी चलते धनी लोकर पिला माने इज इट ओनली दैट दे विल रन आफ्टर मनी Do you think that money can give them happiness? कौन भावुच मनीटा कौन केवल सब सुखर कारण हूँ मनी टंका कौन सब सुख दे पार टू नो ऑल दिस लेट अस रीड द स्टोरी हाउ ए रिच फादर लर्न्स ए बिग लेसन फ्रॉम हिज सन अबाउट व्हाट ट्रू वेल्थ इज बर्तमान जाना गले आम बर्तमान पढ़ा गोटे धनी बाप किपरि जान प्रकृत धनटा कौन फर्स्ट I read this topic. You listen it mindfully. ମୁଁ ପ୍ରଥମେ ଗପ ପଢୁଛି ତମେ ଏଟା ଶୁଣ because reading is a very necessary part of the education. Reading ହେଉଛି କ'ଣ ବହୁତ important part. Listen it mindfully and practice it in your house 3 or 4 times. Okay? Then I read it. You listen it mindfully. Once upon a time, there was a very rich man. He, along with his family, lived in a big palatial building on the top of a hill. His house was surrounded by tall boundary walls like the Chinese Great Wall. The walls were his protection from outside attacks. He too had private soldiers and a great bulldog to protect him. In moonlit nights, the building looked very beautiful. From there, one could see the river, small hills, long stretch of paddy fields, small huts of poor farmers scattered all around, all flooded by the magic of moonlight. During moonless dark nights, the building had a special look of its wall. The building, the walls all around the gardens inside were lit by lamps. From a distance, one could see dazzling stars in the sky, but the small huts were sleeping invisibly at night. The rich man lived there like a king very happily. His happiness got doubled when he saw the poor farmers living in small huts down the hill, toiling hard in their field. His only sorrow was that his only son did not like all his richness and glamour. Often he found sitting alone in his garden, looking down the hill at the poor farmers, toiling in their fields and the rivers flowing by. He was found to be very indifferent to all the richness and the glamour of his father. Now, you have listened it already, but you practice it in your house 3 or 4 times. When you read it in your house 3 or 4 times, તમે આપકો ઘરે જાઈને 2-3 થર પઢિબ કારણ રીડિંગ ના નિહાતી દરકાર. Now I describe this topic. ବର୍ତ୍ତମାନ ଆମ ବର୍ତ୍ତମାନ এই ଟପିକ କୁ ବର୍ତ୍ତମାନ ଟପିକ କୁ ଯିବା. କ'ଣ ଅଛି ଟପିକ ରେ? Once upon a time there was a very rich man. Once upon a time there was a very rich man. He along with his family lived in a big palatial building on the top of a hill. That means there was a rich man. There was a rich man. But a dhani loka thila. He lived in a big palatial building. What do you mean by palatial building? Big palatial building. Big palatial building. Palatial building means royal building. Royal building. That means राज उवास भली घर विराट बड़ घर. That rich man lived in a big house. That means big a palatial building, and that building was on the top of a hill. और से बिल्डिंग टा कोड थिला गोटे पहाड़र शीर्ष भाग थिला पहाड़ ऊपर से बिल्डिंग था. That means on the top of a hill there was a big building, and in that building that rich man lived happily with his family. से बिल्डिंग रे एक लोकटे धनी लोकटे तार फैमिली सहित बास करथिला. His house was surrounded by tall boundary walls like the Chinese Great Wall. His house was surrounded. देखो पिला माने एक कष्ट शब्द को लक्ष्य करथिबा. You have to look to this hard word. A hard word देखुथिबा and write the meaning of it on your notebook. तमरे यार एबुडी को तम नोटबुक रे लिखुथिबा and ताकोर भला लक्ष्य करथिबा. And surrounded by tall boundary walls like the Chinese Great Wall, surrounded. What do you mean by surrounded? Surrounded means covered from all sides. Covered from all sides. ଚତୁର୍ଦିଗରେ ପରିବେଷ୍ଟିତ ହୋଇଥିବା. Covered from all sides. His house was surrounded by tall boundary walls. His house, that means his house was surrounded by tall boundary. A tall boundary was surrounded in his house. ତା ଘରଟା ଗୋଟେ ବିରାଟ ଗୋଟେ ବାଉଣ୍ଡରୀ ୱାଲ ରେ ବାଉଣ୍ଡରୀ ପାଚେରୀରେ ତା ଘରଟି ସରାଉଣ୍ଡେଡ ହୋଇଥିଲା ବା ପରିବେଷ୍ଟିତ ହୋଇଥିଲା. ସେ ବାଉଣ୍ଡରୀଟା କେମିତି what the type which type of boundary it was? It just like it is the walls like the Chinese Great Wall. Do you know what is Chinese Great Wall? What is Chinese Great Wall? This Great Wall is in China. In China there is a wall and this is the Chinese Great Wall. देखो, it is a Chinese Great Wall. ये तो Great Wall, this Great Wall made in China. China रा चतुर्पार्श्वरे ये wall टी रही ताको तैयारी करथिले Qin Shi Huang तैयारी करथिले and the length of this Great Wall 21,196 kilometer about. प्राय रही 21,196 किलोमीटर गोटे बाउंड्री वाल. And this king made this great wall around the China to protect the enemies from his to protect his country from the enemy. यही विराट चाइना यही वाल तैयारी करथिले तांकर यही चाइना यही वाल तैयारी करथिले तांकर देश को देश को शत्रु आक्रमण रक्षा करने तैयारी करथिले. This is the Royal Chinese Great Wall. That means historic Great Wall of China. Historic Great Wall of China. China रो उटे विराट बड़ा विशाल प्राचीर. That means his house was surrounded by a big boundary wall. That boundary wall was just like the Chinese Great Wall. Chinese Great Wall भली विराट बड़ा wall रे तांग घर को परिवेष्टित करथिला. काहे करथिला? To protect himself from outside attacks. These walls were protect himself from outside attacks. This wall were his protection from outside attacks. What do you mean by protection? Protection, the state of being protected, suraksha. That means his walls were the protection from outside attacks. That wall was building. So he built this wall around his house to protect outside attack. बाह्य आक्रमण रक्षा करने से गोटे घर चारिपार्श्वे गोटे विराट प्राचीर निर्माण करथिला. He too had a private soldiers and a great bulldog to protect him. He too had a private soldiers. What do you mean a soldier? A person who serves in the army. That is to protect himself. For his protection, what did he do? से निजर प्रोटेक्शन है कौन करथिला देखो फॉर हिज प्रोटेक्शन ही मेड ए ग्रेट बाउंड्री वॉल अराउंड हिज हाउस से निजर घर चारि पाखे गोटे विराट बाउंड्री वॉल तैयारी करथिला एंड फॉर हिज प्रोटेक्शन ही केप्ट ही हैड ए प्राइवेट सोल्जर तार निजर स्वतंत्र सैनिक थिला निज सैनिक थिला निजर प्रोटेक्शन पई एंड ही हैड आल्सो ए ग्रेट बुल डॉग डू यू नो डॉग माने कुकुर आपन जानथिबो बट बुल डॉग मींस बुल डॉग प्राइवेट सोल्जर्स मींस soldier of one soldier व्यक्तिगत सैनिक bulldog means this is the bulldog विभिन्न प्रकार डॉग अछंती देखो bulldog देखा केमिति ना that means a special type of strong dog एक स्वतंत्र प्रजातिर शक्तिशाली कुकुर जे शत्रु को देखला ताको झांकी पड़ियो एवली प्रकार bulldog बनसे रखितला फॉर हिज प्रोटेक्शन से कोन करथला देखो फॉर हिज प्रोटेक्शन he made a strong boundary wall around the house. For his protection, he had a private soldier. For his protection, he had a great bulldog. In moonlit nights, the building looked very beautiful. Moonlit. What do you mean by moonlit? Able to see because of moonlight of the moon, of the light of the moon. Chandraloka, moonlit. Moonlit is Chandraloka, Chandra Aloka, moonlit. in moonlit nights the building looked very beautiful. এই তোমার চন্দ্রা লোকরে যেতବେଳେ that means when the moonlight falls on that palatial building, that building looked very beautiful. When the moonlight falls on the that palatial building, যেতବେଳେ palatial building पर से moonlight पड़े, चंद्रा लोक पड़े, that building looks very beautiful. The building टा बहुत सुंदर देखा है. Clear है? Then from there one could see the river, small hills, long stretch of paddy fields, small huts of poor farmers scattered all around, all flooded by the magic of moonlight. From there one could see rivers, small hills, long stretch of paddy fields. From there means from that building. Say building. From there means from that building. Say building room. One could see rivers. One could see rivers, small hills, long stretch of paddy fields. Long stretch means बहुत दूर पर्यंत लंबी थिबा. Long stretch बहुत दूर पर्यंत लंबी थिबा. That means from that house, from that palatial building, the palatial building was on the top of the hill. गोटे पहाड़ ऊपर थिला. From the top of the hill, that means in the palatial building. The top of the hill the palatial building रो जने कौन देख परिबो? He could see small rivers flowing by. थोड़ा river जो माने बही जाता river देख पातिबो. And small hills, छोटा छोटा पहाड़, long stretch of paddy fields, अनेक दूर लंबी थिबा. Paddy fields, देखो paddy field, that means a field rice where rice is grown. धान चाष जमी. This is a paddy field. Paddy field. That long stretch of paddy field. और बहुत दूर पर्यंत सुविस्तृत चाष जमी. And आगु नथिला and small huts of poor farmers scattered all around. Scattered. When scattered means seen over wide area. विच्छुरित. चारियाडे विच्छुरित रहितबा. Scattered. And that means that there are small hut poor farmers scattered all around. That palatial building was on top of the hill, but in the तଳ देशरे there are so many poor farmers who are living in that small hut. तार तळ देशरे अनेक छोट छोट कुड़िया रे अनेक गरीब लोक बास करथिले. And from that building one could see that poor farmers who are living in their hut hither and thither. विभिन्न आड़े स्कैटर्ड हो रहिथिबा पिछुरित रहिथिबा छोट छोट कुड़िया रे आमर पोर फार्मर देखि परथिले. एठा में देखो आमर फ्रॉम दैट बिल्डिंग वन कुड सी व्हिच थिंग. সেই বিল্ডিং सन कोन देखि परथिले? One could see from the building some rivers. One could see small hills, long stretch of paddy fields, and so many poor farmers who were living in their huts on hither and thither under the hither and thither. During the moonless dark, all flooded by the magic moonlight. All flooded by magic moonlight. Flooded moonlight. That means filled with moonlight. Chandra kiranare vichurita heba ba chandra lokare बन्यारे भासुथिबा. That means when the moonlight falls on that area, जेतले सेही एरिया रे moonlight पड़े चंद्रा लोकरे उद्भासित होतिबा बा भासुथिबा ए जो जिनिस गुडी को जने देखि परथले. During moonless dark night the building has special look. During moonless dark night देखो हमर त कुआ गला जत्ते बेले हमर चंद्रा लोक पडुथिला. When the moonlight falls on that palatial building, that palatial building पडुथिला केसर कोन देखुथिला हमें देखिले. But in the moonless dark night, जत्ते चंद्रा लोक नथि अर्थात अमावास्या समय रे in the moonless dark night हमर घर तांका घरटा केमि देखाउथिला. In the when there is no moonlight, जत्ते चंद्रा लोक नथिला अर्थात अंधार समय रे अमावास्या समय रे आकाश चंद्र न थाए चारिया डार्क से समय that moonless dark night the building had a special look of its own. In that moonless dark night अंधार भितर कौन था the building had a special look. Building का उठे कौन special look थिला. Special look टा कौन? The building walls were all around the gardens inside the lit by lamps. Lit. Lit means provided with light. It provided with light. L-I-G-H-T ଆସିବ L-I-G-H-T light. L-I-T ଲେଖା ହେଇଛି L-I-G-H-T light. That means ଦେଖ ସେତେବେଳେ ଚନ୍ଦ୍ର ଆଲୋକରେ ଚନ୍ଦ୍ର ଆଲୋକ ପଡୁଥିଲା ଘରଟି ସୁନ୍ଦର ଦେଖାଉଥିଲା. But the lack of the moonlight ର absence ରେ that rich man decorated his house with a special lamp. ତାର ଅନ୍ଧାର ରାତ୍ରିରେ ନିଜ ଘରକୁ the special lamp ରେ ସେ ଡେକୋରେଟ୍ କରିଥିଲା. From the distance one could see dazzling stars in the sky. From a distance, lit by lamps. Lit means alokita, but lit by lamps means lightened with lamps. Alokamare sajjita hoitiva ba sajai hori. That means at that time when there is no moonlight, that rich man decorated his house with a special lamp, and that house looked very beautiful with that decoration. From a distance one could see dazzling stars in the sky, but small hearts were sleeping invisibly night. From distance one could see dazzling stars. Dazzling means very bright. Very bright. From distance one could see dazzling stars. बहुत दूरରୁ देखि dazzling stars देखा जाए कारण से अंधार राति one could see the dazzling stars. But the small hearts were sleeping invisibly at night. ଯେଉଁ ସମୟରେ କି ଛୋଟ ଛୋଟ କୋଡ଼ିଆ in which hearts the poor farmers were living, that hearts were sleeping invisibly at night. ରାତ୍ରିରେ ପୁରା invisibly means ଅଦୃଶ୍ୟ. ରାତ୍ରିରେ ସେ ସ୍ଥାନ ସେ ହଟ୍ ଗୋଟେ ଅଦୃଶ୍ୟ ହେଇଯାଏ. ପିଲା ଦେଖ why the small hearts are invisible at the time. The small hearts are invisible because there is no light. সেই সময় চন্দ্রালোক পড়েনি, so due to the dark night they are the invisible. Kintu but that special building is not the invisible because it is lightened by the special light, special lamp. तो एठी दुईटी डिफरेंस देखा. गोटे धनी घर ଯେତେବେଳେ ଅନ୍ଧାରର ମଧ୍ୟରେ ତା ଘରଟି ଖୁବ ସୁନ୍ଦର ତକ୍ତେ ଦେଖାଉଛି, କିନ୍ତୁ ଗରିବ ଘର ଅନ୍ଧାର ଭିତରେ ତାର ଘରଟି ପୁରା ଲିଭି ଯାଉଛି. The difference between the two residents. That means the residence of a rich man and the residence of a poor farmer. Then the rich man lived there like a king very happily. That means in that palatial building, the rich man had a luxurious life. The palatial building re rich man di bahut luxurious life maintain korta. That means he lived there very happily like a king. ଗୋଟେ ରାଜା ଭଳି ସେଠି ସେ ରହୁଥିଲା. କୋଉଠି? ତାର ନିଜର ପାଲାସିଆଲ ବିଲ୍ଡିଂ ରେ. That his happiness got doubled when he saw the poor farmers living in small huts. Living in the small huts. What do you mean by hut? H-U-T hut. Hut means small house. Kudiya. This is the small house. The kudiya. This is a hut. The farmers live in small huts down the hill, toiling hard in their fields. And that rich man lived in the palatial building. He lived very happily. But his happiness got doubled. His happiness बहुत द्विगुणित होता. When he saw the poor farmers who are living under the hill, hill तले जो माने छोट कोड़िया रे the poor farmer बास करथिले, and when he saw they were toiling very hard. Toiling means working. Toiling means doing very hard labor. अत्यधिक परिश्रम करथिबा. When he saw the poor farmers doing very hard work in their field, at that time their happiness got double. ଯେତେବେଳେ ସେ ଦେଖୁଥିଲା ତାର ତଳର କୁଡ଼ିଆ ତାର ପାଦ ଦେଶରେ ପାହାଡ଼ର ପାଦ ଦେଶରେ ଯୋଉ ଛୋଟ ଛୋଟ କୁଡ଼ିଆରେ ରହୁଥିବା ଗରିବ ଲୋକମାନେ କଠିନ ପରିଶ୍ରମ କରି ବସୁଛନ୍ତି, ତାକୁ ଦେଖି ତାର ଖୁସି ଦ୍ୱିଗୁଣିତ ଯାଉଥିଲା. The only sorrow was that his only son did not like all his richness and glamour. His only sorrow was that. Sorrow. His only sorrow was that. What do you mean by sorrow? Sorrow is deep distress or sadness. Dukha. ତାର ଗୋଟେ ମାତ୍ର ଦୁଃଖ ଥିଲା. Though he was very rich man, but he had a sorrow. ତାର ଗୋଟେ ଦୁଃଖ ଥିଲା. ତାର ଦୁଃଖ କଣ ଥିଲା? He had only one son. ତାର ଗୋଟେ ପୁଅ ଥିଲା, but his son did not like the richness and glamour of his father. ତାର ଗୋଟେ ମାତ୍ର ଦୁଃଖ ଥିଲା, ତାର ଗୋଟେ ମାତ୍ର ପୁଅ, ଯେ ପୁଅ ବାପର ଏଇ ଗ୍ଲେମର, richness means the quality of being rich, ବିତ୍ତଶାଳୀ ପ୍ରଭାବ, ଧନୀ ଭାବ, ଅର୍ଥାৎ richness means ଧନୀ ଭାବ, richness, glamour means beauty. এটা বিউটি হব, কিন্তু এଠି হব ଆମର ଜାକଜମକ. ରିଚ୍ ମ୍ୟାନଟି ଯେଉଁ ଜାକଜମକରେ ରହୁଥିଲା ତାକୁ ସେ ତା ପୁଅ ଭଲ ପାଉନଥିଲା. That means his son was totally different from his father. His father was very much happy to see the hard working of the poor farmer, but his son did not like it. His son did not like the richness of his father. His son did not like the glamour of his father. ତା ବାପର ଜାକଜମକୁ ରହିବାକୁ ସେ ଭଲ ପାଉନଥିଲା, ବା ତା ରିଚନେସ୍ ସେ ଭଲ ପାଉନଥିଲା. Often he found him sitting alone in his garden, looking down the hill at the poor farmers toiling in their fields in the rivers flowing by. Often he found him sitting. He means the rich man. Here he means the rich man. They found him. He means his son. That means often the rich man found his son sitting alone. Whereas ପ୍ରାୟ ସମୟ ସେ ଦେଖେ ତା ପୁଅ ଏକୁଟିଆ ବସିଛି କୋଉଠି? In his garden, looking down the hill. Often his father saw his son sitting in the garden lonely. Whereas ପ୍ରାୟ ସମୟ ଦେଖେ ତା ପୁଅ garden ରେ ଏକୁଟିଆ ବସିଛି, and he was looking down the hillside. ସେ hillside ତଳକୁ ସେ ଲକ୍ଷ୍ୟ କରୁଛି. କାହାକୁ ଲକ୍ଷ୍ୟ କରୁଛି? He was looking down the hillside at the poor farmers who were toiling, who were working hard in their field. ତା ପୁଅ ପ୍ରାୟ ସମୟ ଦେଖେ ଯେ ଯୋଉ ଲୋକମାନେ ତଳ ପାହାଡ ତଳ ଦେଶରେ କଠିନ ପରିଶ୍ରମ କରୁଛନ୍ତି ତାକୁ ସେ ଲକ୍ଷ୍ୟ କରୁଥିଲା. And the rivers flowing by. ଆଉ କଣ ଦେଖୁଥିଲା? The rivers flowing by. ବହି ଯାଉଥିବା ନଦୀକି ଦେଖୁଥିଲା. ଆମର କଠିନ ପରିଶ୍ରମ କରୁଥିବା poor farmer ମାନଙ୍କୁ ଲକ୍ଷ୍ୟ କରୁଥିଲା. He was found to be very indifferent to all the richness and the glamour of his father. Indifferent means lack of interest or having no particular interest. Anagraha, agraha nahi. That means his son was found to be having no interest all the richness of his father or the glamour of his father. ତା ବାପାଙ୍କର ଏ ଜାକଜମକକୁ ବା ତାଙ୍କର ରିଚନେସ୍ କୁ ଆଦୌ ଆଗ୍ରହ ପ୍ରକାଶ ନ କରୁଥିବାର ତାକୁ ଦେଖିବାକୁ ମିଳୁଛି. That means this is our SGP1. এইটা ଥିଲା ଆମର SGP1 ରେ. ବର୍ତ୍ତମାନ ଆମର এই SGP1 ପଢେଇବା. That means ଯେତେ ପଢେଇଲେ what is the summary of this SGP1? यार summary ଟା କଣ? The story is about a rich father and his son. The rich father had everything to maintain a luxurious life. He had a palatial building which was on the top of a hill. The building was surrounded by all boundary walls. He had private soldiers and a great bulldog for his protection. His house looked very beautiful in the moonlight. In the moonless dark night, he filled artificial lamps to keep his building bright. From his building, the rich man could see river, small hills, long stretches of paddy fields, and the horse poor farmers down the hill. He felt very much happy when he saw the poor farmers working hard in the field. Though he enjoyed the king's life, but his son did not like it. He neither enjoyed the rich nor like his father's luxurious life. This is the summary. Then we come to some questions. Now, students, ବର୍ତ୍ତମାନ ପିଲାମାନେ ବର୍ତ୍ତମାନ ଏଇ ସବୁ ଆମର fill in the blanks within the correct alternative. ଆମର ଏଇ କେତେ correct alternative ଦିଆଯାଇଛି ଆକୁ ବର୍ତ୍ତମାନ ଆମେ ପିଲାମାନେ କୁହ The rich man along with dash lived in a big palatial building. A rich man की palatial building रे किपरि बास करथिला. His son, poor farmers, his family, his servants. Who can give the answer? पिलाने को
His family. His family.
his
His family.
his family.
Family.
Very good. His family is the correct answer. Palatial building रे ता निजरा परिवार से चलौथिला. To protect himself, he had dash a bulldog, B private soldiers, C private soldiers and a bulldog, nor one private soldier. Very good. Private
soldiers and private soldier.
Private soldier and a bulldog, not in only private soldier. ता केवल private soldier नथिला. ता private soldier सहित bulldog मध्ये थिला. Okay? The rich man's happiness got doubled when he saw dash. Rich man रा happiness ता double हे थिला. तो कौन देखेगी? The small horse down the hill, the rivers flowing by, the poor farmers living in a small hut, his only son. What is the answer? Who can tell it? Lombard High School. Give the answer, Lombard High School.
Living in a small hut. The poor farmers living in small hut.
The poor farmers living in the small hut. Very good. Thank you.
The poor farmers.
The poor farmers living in the hut. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. The rich man's building was surrounded by dash. Rich man building that dash is surrounded with hedge fence, wire fence, tall boundary walls, none. तार rich man building that कोथरे surrounded with tall boundary wall. Very good. Very good. Thank you. The palatial building of rich man was there on the river of bank, on the top of a hill, in the desert, on the roadside.
On the top of the hill. Top of a hill.
On the
top
of the hill. Correct. Thank you. The rich man had artificial lamp to keep his building in the dash. Rich man artificial lamp thila ta building record gaya mein. Kona? Daytime, moonlit night, moonless dark night, every time. What is the correct answer? Who can give the answer? Anpas High School. Anpas High School, Rajapur. Anpas High School, Rajapur, give the answer.
Moonless dark night.
Moonless
dark night. Dark night.
Correct. Correct. Thank you. Then match the words in column A with the words in opposite meaning in column B. A रे केता को word अछि, B रे तारा opposite meaning अछि. Can you feel it? Rich. What is the rich opposite meaning of the rich? Who can tell it? Rich.
Poor.
Rich, poor. Correct. Very good. Tall.
Dull.
Anpas High School.
Dull.
Tall, short. Tall, short. Outside. Meaning of the opposite meaning of the outside.
Inside.
What? Inside.
Inside.
Thank you. Thank you. Private.
Public.
Private. Public.
Public.
Correct. Very good. Dazzling. Dazzling.
Dull.
Doll. Thank you. Very good. Correct. Small.
Big. Big. Big.
Small, big. Very good. Happy. Only one answer is left. That is the unhappy. Then we come to this is the table. We have to fill up it. That means this is a one. Jumble word. It is that means the opposite of poor. We have to read it. Read. That means we have to write it R-I-C-H. Read. Then two. That has roof and walls. Do you know what that is? that a roof and walls. For example, a house. এটা কোন আসবে এটা? B ରୁ start হলো.
building,
Again? Building. Very good. Building. And এটা? B U I L D I N G. Then better than others. Better than others. Three. S or three. S will start over.
special,
Better than others.
special,
Special. Better than others. Special. Then for a small house made of wood, grass and mud.
horse,
Horse. Horse. H-U-E-S. Small houses ଅଛି ତ horse ହେବ. Small houses. ଯଦି small house ଆନ୍ତା କେବଳ horse ହେଇଯାନ୍ତା. 5. We take it when we have a fever. Doctors give it to us.
medicine,
Again, medicine. Then a person who manages a farm. जो व्यक्ति जो farm manage करे.
farmer,
Again? Farmer. Farmer. 7. A person kept in a prison. A person kept in a prison. Prisoner. Last, the opposite of inside. The opposite of inside, outside.
outside,
Very good. हमारा एती थिला पढ़ेवारा. Now I give the homework. There are 5 questions given to you. You do it in your notebook. ଆଉ ତମର notebook ରେ କରିବ and ଆମର ସାର୍ ଙ୍କୁ ଦେଖେଇବ correction କରିବାକୁ. First question, who was the rich man living? How was the rich man living? Second question, what did the rich man do for his protection? Third question, how was the building decorated in moonless dark night? Fourth question, what did he see from his building? Fifth question, what was the sorrow of rich man?